Because if the jail chaplains didn't go into jail and give a Bible to somebody like me, would I ever read it? No. If they didn't take their time to help somebody in jail, that like most people would think, oh, they belong there, they're just scum. I'm a father, I'm a son. I'm just like everybody else. It's just I made really bad choices.
When I started this group, I realized that having support systems, having places to go where we could have resources, or even getting to know people in the church community that really care about us, knowing that people are out there that really love us and care about us as human beings.
I found God in that group in some ways that I didn't understand. I can't say that I get up every day and I read the Bible, because I still don't, but I'm getting better with it. I'm learning little by little, and I'm learning to find myself again.
It's not just drugs and alcohol, folks, right? It's gambling, it's everything from, you know, codependent relationships.
Unforgiveness or low self-esteem, fear.
So you have to examine your own life. What's going on with me? And you come up with realizing, you know, I could be on this path real easy. And am I a few steps down the path already?
You know, if everybody gets together and helps other people, then if I help somebody and the next person helps somebody, then that's when we start changing the community.
Outstanding video, outstanding testimonies. And with us now, the Executive Director of Jail Chaplains, Jerry Leach. Great to see you back here again.
Awesome. Nice to see you too, Chris.
I love seeing those kind of testimonies for the Lord. And speaking of a great testimony, we talked last week. Let's start with that. Will was on, and you guys have done great work with him. So share with us a little bit about he was giving away free haircuts on Saturday.
He was. It was absolutely wild in there. I was out of town.
It was pouring rain, too.
I know. It was. Actually, Will told me yesterday morning he's sure they had at least 1,000 people through the shop. Now, they didn't all get a haircut, but he's thinking around 500 haircuts. Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
So you see some of those stories and they just move you. What are some stories you want to share with us that, you know, how long you've been doing this, and what are some stories that really stand out to you? Like, you know, Chris, this was somebody I never thought the Lord could pierce their heart, and next thing you know, he's out and he's like Paul, you know, went from a persecutor to now he's one of the biggest fans.
Absolutely. Do you know, there are so many lives that are changed. You just saw our friend Sean and his wife Misty, who have been with the program and have really been involved with Living Free, the small groups that we've integrated into the ministry in the jail and in the community. And that's where we're really building a strong bridge. Prior to the last 18 months, we didn't have a bridge directly from the jail into the community.
Oh.
It was like, come join us at a church or in a group, but we didn't. Now, people can be taking a Living Free group. We have an anger group in the jail. They could take the group there, they get out on Thursday, and on Monday night, they can go to the same anger group, the same topic in the community. So it's really solid. It meets at the library. Who wouldn't feel comfortable going to the library, right?
So any stories that jump out to you over the years you've been doing this? You're like, you know, that was just a miracle.
Oh, well, certainly. I mean, Will's is one. We kind of talked about that last week a little bit. You know, he came here as a 12-year-old boy from Haiti, graduated high school, got in with the wrong crowd, was selling drugs, dealing drugs, landed up in jail, and wanted to have a different life. And so he connected with the jail chaplains. I mean, Sean was in federal prison a number of different times through treatment and got out, and just really, when they can connect with someone, that when they get out and they're determined to live a different life, but if someone doesn't come alongside them, how do they know how to live a different life? So someone can make a commitment for Christ in the jail, but really they have no idea how to live it out in the community. And so when we as people of faith can say, come, let me walk with you and hold your hand and help you make those, that re-entry into the community.
Yeah.
I mean, they really have to totally reinvent themselves. If you think about if you're making bad choices and the crowd that you're hanging out with, if you want to make different choices going forward, you have to have a whole different set of friends. And that's really hard. That's really
Very
hard.
I think that transition piece is so difficult when you get out and you've got to go try to find housing and a job and travel and all those things. So for people that are saying, hey, this is fantastic what you guys are doing, how can they support you, help out? How can people in the community get involved?
Well, we have a dessert social coming up next week on October 17th at the Holiday Inn. It'll be a celebration. It's also a fundraiser to help us with our annual budget. And then there's all kinds of opportunities that we'll share there. Being involved with the Living Free groups, we have co-facilitators in each one of the groups. We could use, transportation gets to be a barrier. We could use people to give rides and all kinds of different things people can plug in.
So if you can, kind of paint the picture of next week. Will they show up at this event, and what is happening throughout the event?
So first of all, we're going to celebrate that it's been 40 years since the foundation was laid for jail chaplains. Former Sheriff Don Rudnick and Pastor Kurt Frankhauser in 1979 started working together, and it was with death calls as deputies, patrol officers were making death calls on families is where it started. And then it moved into the jail. And so we're going to celebrate that, honoring some people. And then we're going to have a live auction, have a little fun, have some great items there. And then Captain Andrew Frobrig, probably has been on with you before, and Will, are going to do a story exchange. They actually are going to tell a story from each of their personal lives in first person. The opposite person will tell that.
Nice.
And then, we'll talk about what God's been doing through the ministry and give people an opportunity to be involved, inspired. If they are inspired at the event, we'll have an opportunity to help us finish off our budget for the year.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the great work you're doing. We appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity to get the message out.
Go enjoy a fantastic event, make a big difference here in our community, and stay with us. We got much more coming up right after this.